Hey everyone, exciting news. We've officially launched the Paranoid Perspective Patreon. If you love what we do, unpacking conspiracies, chasing mysteries, and laughing through the weirdness, now you can support the show and get more of it.
So for as little as $5 a month, you will get exclusive access and extra perks to the episode. Sarah, what do we get with Tier 1?
So Tier 1 is the Curious Minds, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode.
Next tier, this is what you guys really probably want. Ad-free episodes. We don't need those pesky ads that you guys are getting on Spotify, Apple, whatever else. You will get all episodes ad-free along with what else, Sarah?
You'll also get it ahead of time. So before the episode releases for that week, it'll be available for you to watch or listen.
So if you guys are interested, check in the show notes down below, or you can head to patreon.com/the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Welcome back to the Paranoid Perspective. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah.
We've been talking about this for quite a while, Sarah. We've been trying to get this episode done for a while, and it just hasn't been working out. The time has finally come to talk about, I guess, let's kind of embellish this motherfucker a little bit. The Vampire King of Kentucky, Mr. Rod Farrell.
Oh my gosh. The king. See, I had to not look up anything for this.
Hey, there you go.
So long.
I know. But so you don't know anything about this.
I did not look at anything. I don't know anything. I'm interested to listen.
Well, there are some really good documentaries. There are some really good. Okay. I think there was like a movie or maybe like a TV, like made for TV, something or other about it. I didn't really pay attention to much of that because of the like over embellishment of certain things for like Hollywood and TV stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was a pretty big deal. And this happened way back in the time of 1996, Sarah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty recent.
It is pretty recent.
30 years, I guess.
Yeah. You know, I was a young strapping lad about to, in elementary school. So.
Yeah, I was like barely forming ideas probably.
That's true.
I was around.
Yeah, you were there, but you're just kind of living your best life without any care in the world. But this happened in Murray, Kentucky, which if you ever come down by my way, Sarah, is just literally a stone's throw away. It's not very far from where I'm at. They actually used to do rituals at this place called LBL. And if anybody's familiar with the West Kentucky, West Tennessee area, that's a really nice, like recreational camping area. Land Between the Lakes is what it's called. So, yeah. Well, I'm almost positive there has to be something because it's water and woods. There's always something where there's creepy shit around water and woods. So I'll do some research into it, and then you can just shoot down here sometime, and maybe we can go exploring a little bit.
That'd be fun.
But these, I'll kind of give you the pre-show to this pretty much. So pretty much a group of teenagers from Murray, Kentucky, you know, you're angsty, you're misunderstood. And they started out as what was a fantasy, and it actually ended in murder. Bum, bum, bum.
So because they're vampires, or they're acting like vampires, they murdered someone?
Maybe.
Or one of the vampires was murdered.
No. We don't murder our own kind around here. Speaking of vampires, Sarah, are you a fan of Twilight?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not at all. I hate that fucking movie. It's so dumb. But we're not talking about what?
You should watch the rest of it. The last movie, crazy.
I don't give a shit. I will not be doing any such thing. But we're not talking about sparkly vampires here. More like Hot Topic meets Bad Decision vampires. Like that's what we're thinking about. Nasty, like greasy hair kids, like just, you know, mid-90s wearing trench coats when it's 90 degrees outside type of vampires. That's what we're talking about here. Okay. So, but at the center of all of this insanity, the one person, he declared himself a 500-year-old undead warlord. His name was Rod Farrell, And he preferred the name Visago.
Visago?
That was his vampire name.
Interesting. 500-year-old warlord, so like from the 1400s?
Yeah, he's been around, Sarah. He's been around for, I mean, if you're a fucking vampire, there are.
Shouldn't he be like rich? He should be real rich.
You would think a 500-year-old vampire would not be living in Murray, Kentucky. But
yeah.
to each their own. Maybe he just needed a few years of just quiet solitude, you know?
Yeah, he needs a lay low area.
That is true. That is very true. Now, Rod was born in 1980, and he was actually raised in Murray. And if people don't know Murray, Kentucky, it's a very small town. There's not a lot going on. I pulled up the census for it in like 2020. Where would I have that at? It was like, yeah, here you go. City's population was 17,307 during the 2020 census. So not small by any means, but not like a bustling metropolis.
Yeah.
Either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know what this is the perfect place to do? Become immortal.
Yeah. That's the only place to be. That's where all vampires originate.
That's true. Murray, Kentucky is where all of the vampires originate. Forget Romania, forget, Eastern Europe anywhere.
Yep. Right.
It's all in Murray, Kentucky. Now, Rod was really smart, and he was unfortunately pretty isolated, though. And this is a tale as old as time as far as crazy motherfuckers go. His home life wasn't exactly the best. Rod's mother, Sandra London, she was very unconventional, to say the least. She was deeply into vampire mythology, occult ideas, alternative identity structures. Like, there's stories of her when Rod started really getting into this and like started bringing friends over, where she wanted to be like accepted into the cult, like, and be like crowned a vampire with her son. Like, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah. There's also alleged, I don't know if this is true, there's been some alleging that she also was the way she was trying to coerce her way into this was to possibly seduce some of Rod's friends, which is even more fucking disgusting. But, yeah. It's an important detail, and I can't stress this enough, is like, hey, Rod, you might not be a 500-year-old vampire named Visago. That conversation was never had. It was more like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's try to check that out and let's explore what you're talking about right here. That was like the mindset of his mother.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You would think she would be like, no, I birthed you.
Yeah, I felt you and saw you come out of my body. I felt you grow in my body. You're not a 500-year-old vampire because you're only 16. Anyway.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be like some older guy, like not a teenager.
Nope, not at all. Now, unfortunately, Rod's father, Richard Farrell, was largely absent from Rod's life, as one would expect with some crazy mom that thinks it's cool for her son to be a 500-year-old vampire. I can't imagine she was the most fun person to be around, especially in a marriage. But so Rod was mostly raised by his mother, Sandra, and his grandparents. And I think this is kind of like, we'll kind of get into a little bit more of this later, but he always alleged that his grandfather sexually abused him. However, these claims were reported in interviews and secondary sources. Like, none of that was ever proven in court. Like, I want to make that abundantly clear. And we'll get into why I think he said that quite a lot here in just a little bit. Whether that's true or not, psychologists point out that perceived trauma can shape identity just as powerfully, or especially in adolescence, like it can like really exacerbate it. You know what I mean? Like, you think if you're younger that it's the worst thing in the world, even if it's not true. It's like one of those lies that you tell yourself it so much that it becomes real. So that's kind of our staging point. We got a kid with zero fucking boundaries, possible trauma in the background, a fantasy world that is not just an escape anymore. It's a fucking reality for him. Like, that's the kid you're dealing with right now.
Yeah, he needs some help.
Yeah.
Some professional help.
How does one get into believing that you are a 500-year-old vampire named Visago? Can you take a guess, sir?
The internet. No, the internet was so little. But
It was around, but not like it is now.
did he read Anne Rice's vampire series?
He very well could have, but the biggest thing that got him into it was a game called Vampire: The Masquerade. Okay. Now, this is like a Dungeons and Dragons style game, Sarah, so there's a lot of role playing. There's it's still around today. Like, people still will play it, and it's like, it literally is a really fun, like, what do they call it? Like the tabletop RPG sort of games or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, that's really what I think was one of the big catalysts, because it always gets brought up about how Vampire the Masquerade, they were playing this as friends, and it kind of turned from fantasy to reality really quick. Right. And that's true.
The Dungeons and Dragons from the 80s.
But I always think it's funny, like you said, a 500-year-old vampire. I always wonder, like, why he said 500 and not 200. It's like, was it just not, like, edgy enough to be a 200-year-old vampire? Like, but what, like, I don't know.
Or why not, like, more? Why not, like, 700 or something?
Well, if I were to take a guess, and I don't know this for sure, I'm going to assume when he was role-playing with people that maybe weren't most, like, friends, like, maybe there was this weird, like, one-upping thing that was happening.
Yeah.
And that's probably where it came from. Right. If I had to assume, I don't know that for sure. But in the mid-90s, Rod was super deep into, like, gothic culture, obsessed with vampires, the Masquerade, and was literally starting to identify himself as Visago. Like, people were calling him Visago. His friends were doing it, and his mom was fucking doing it.
His mom, like, oh my God. She needs to do, I don't know.
Yeah, she needs some fucking help.
Oh, yeah.
And but at this stage, it was more of a personal identity. It hadn't formed into a group yet.
Okay.
Now, he starts meeting up with, Murray, Kentucky. It's the hub for vampires, so he starts linking up with like-minded people, and they start going out to LBL and different places, most notably behind, I believe it was an Arby's, where they would meet and have clan meetings and do rituals and do weird shit. Okay. Sarah, if you're in Murray, Kentucky, that is where you do your vampire rituals, is in the parking lot of a fucking Arby's. Okay.
Do you think someone was working there and they were like, oh, let's just meet up here after work?
No, or possibly, but I think it's like one of those things, like, if you live in a small town, like, there's always the hangout place, right? There's always the place that everybody goes to. And we're not going to go there because we're edgy and cool. So where does nobody go? Fucking Arby's. That's what I'm assuming. It's too damn expensive. The food's okay. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that's just my opinion. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. A young lady named Heather Windorf, she was just 16 years old. She became like a real diehard member. And the thing with her, this is kind of what is a little crazy. She's all the way in Florida.
What? How did she hear about this?
Chat room.
Oh, okay.
Started talking on forums, started talking in chat rooms, and they just linked up together. And Heather, being a very angsty young woman at the time, also claimed that she had been sexually abused by her father. And Rod, just trying to one-up it, was like, well, let me tell you about this. My grandpa also did this, but I can escape this for you because I'm a 500-year-old vampire named Visago, and blah, 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 blah. So I think what he was doing, Rod is clearly very good at manipulating, because, dude, she bought this shit hook, line, and sinker. Like, yeah. But they kind of met through mutual friends on chat rooms and different forums and stuff like that. She became emotionally attached super quickly. And what the craziest thing is, it talks about how she became one of the closest people to him in the group, even though they weren't together.
That is so crazy. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how does she even know she's talking to him? Like, Internet 101. It could be like some old guy that just wants to meet with her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's almost like, at least from what I've kind of gathered, it's like Heather is like kind of the catalyst to like what made the group do what they did. Cause like, they're out and about, they're a bunch of miscreants in Murray, Kentucky, going behind Arby's and sucking on each other's arms after they cut each other with a fucking whatever, you know what I mean? And there was another lady named Dana Cooper. She was 19 and she was the oldest member of the group. And she actually was there in Murray, Kentucky. Met Rod through some social circles and stuff. But her role was more important. She was like, she kind of like controlled almost like the group dynamic, I guess, because since she was older, she's probably the one with the vehicle. She's probably, I think she had a place that she was staying in, like a small apartment that sometimes they would go to. She was probably getting them, illicit items such as drugs and alcohol at certain points. That's never been confirmed. I'm just assuming here, you got the cool 19-year-old that's for some reason hanging out with a bunch of 16 and 15-year-olds.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a little strange.
Yeah.
Well, I would not be hanging out with 15-year-olds as a 19-year-old.
But then you had Charity Kinsey, which was 16, joining through friendships already forming around Rod. She was most likely drawn in by the same sense of belonging with like a quote-unquote new identity. You know what I mean? And then you also had Jamie Fuller, who was 15. He was the youngest member of the group and became part of the group through, once again, just existing connections throughout other members that were already kind of hanging out. And it shows how quickly Rod was able to kind of like manipulate a bunch of, like you can tell, except for that 19-year-old, that's kind of the outlier, but a lot of young, impressionable, mostly women.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It seems like it is mostly women.
So, and I don't know, but it is funny because the group started meeting regular at Rod's house. Obviously not Heather because she's all the way down in Florida, but they're talking on chat rooms and shit like that all the time. But they met at Rod's house, parks, did nighttime hangouts. And like I said, the Arby's was a fucking thing they did all the time. I don't think they ever fucking ate food there. I think they just like hung out in the parking lot.
Yeah, they don't have any money.
Well, I mean, Arby's does have the beef. So, I mean, that's probably why all the vampires decided to go to Arby's. You know what I mean? But they began creating like these different identities and referring to themselves as the clan. Now, after they started calling themselves the quote unquote clan, they don't see Rod as just a friend anymore, but they start to see him as the leader. Like he's starting to put himself as the monarch of this group, so to speak. But the bad thing is they're also reinforcing other beliefs and they rarely question Rod. So they're just playing into this. They are just
right,
all about it.
Yeah, not a good situation. No.
And this is where it stops being like a group of friends and starts being like a shared reality. Like we're all sharing the same delusion. We're all, we're so all into this fantasy that we've told ourselves this lie so many times. It's true now. Now, when Rod's mother becomes aware of the clan, what do you think she does, Sarah?
Well, I thought you said she tried to join.
Well, yeah. And the thing she should have done is shut it down and try to fucking stop this whole fucking thing from going.
Right.
Nope.
But, oh my God. Wait, do they all think they're vampires or they just think he's a vampire?
No, they all think they are. Okay. They all do. Yeah. Oh but he is the leader of the warlording 500-year-old Visago, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the craziest part is because like she didn't do anything. She is literally like blurring the lines between like adult teen boundaries. She's like trying to like coerce her way in there instead of like stepping in and being like, hey, this is getting a little fucking crazy. She's like, hey, can I come in and join? Hey, what do I have to do to join? She actually, she actually approached Jamie Fuller, and that's the young man, 15 at the time, keep in mind, to try to allegedly seduce him into letting her join the cult.
So the youngest person, oh my God. Well, I guess that's the only other guy. That's so gross.
Well, you got to think too. Young, impressionable teen, obviously a fucking miscreant, outcast, whatever you want to call him. Probably hasn't had anybody ever talk to him like that before. That was probably pretty enticing to the young man. Fucking disgusting, like you said, to the mother. But once again, she wanted to be a part of this fucking clan, which is even crazier.
That is crazy.
She supposedly like dyed her hair black and like started painting her nails. And like, we're talking about a woman that's like in her early mid-30s.
Yeah. I can't, how embarrassing. Oh my God. Well, I can't imagine doing that.
And you got to think too, Rod is probably like, fuck no, you're not joining this. You're my fucking mom. You're lame. Like I'm a 16-year-old. You're not fucking doing this shit. I'm not.
Yeah.
But the only adult in the room literally just pulled up a chair and let it and started watching what was happening. That is the best way to fucking explain what was going on with this. Now, after they started referring to themselves as the clan, this is when things start to really escalate. They all take on the vampire persona. Rod introduces blood-letting rituals where he would cut his arm and let others drink the blood, and he framed it as a way to sanctify their souls.
Okay. That's so gross.
Very. Especially in Murray, Kentucky. I'm not drinking anybody's blood, but if I have to, I'm not going to Murray, Kentucky. This was not only to strengthen the clan's identity, but increase the emotional and psychological dependency Rod had on the clan. This is at the time, too, where Rod and Heather's relationship starts to really, really intensify. Like, they are buying this shit hook, line, and sinker. The people in the group, dude, if you cut your arms and you got your fucking members sucking on your arms, you already got them. You're fucking... They're good to go. You know what I mean? So what I think he really started doing with Heather was trying to like really, really like double down on her because, you know, he obviously wasn't there. But that's when like this talk of like he's trying to manipulate her. And I think that's where the sexual abuse from his grandfather started to come in because she was saying, oh, well, my father sexually abused me. And he's like, well, I got you because my grandfather sexually abused me. But, you know, you can become a vampire and be part of our clan and, you know, we'll never sexually abuse you. That sort of fucking shit. Just trying to manipulate her into, you know, it's a major chain that happens when Rod's influence grows from like social psychologically to like members no shit trusting his judgment and follow his lead without question. Like it becomes really, 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 really fast after this happens, you know.
How long from him starting it to them like sucking his blood? Like how much of a time was that?
I don't know for sure, but I can't imagine. So he adopted the name when he was 16. I believe, and then he was arrested when he was 18. So I can't imagine that it was that long.
Right, yeah. That's insane.
We're probably talking 6 months or less.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't like it probably didn't start off as something like that. Like the first like blood letting ritual that he did, they probably didn't suck on his arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
It was probably just like he probably like just splattered it on him or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know what vampires do, especially 500-year-old ones, you know. I have no idea.
I don't know, yeah.
But at this point, it's not just a part of their world that Rod is doing. Like he's defining everything for them. And I think that's another thing that was so attractive to some of these younger teenagers is they were just like, man, nobody gets me, but this guy gets me and he's letting me be cool with him. And I'm going to, you know, I don't know. So at the same time, like we kind of said, Heather starts expressing to Rod that the clan is something that she is very, very, very interested in joining. She's very unhappy at home. Her parents are abusing her, like I said before, and she wants to leave. This is when Rod steps in and offers an escape. You know where they're going to go, Sarah?
To Kentucky.
No, man. We're going to get the fuck out of Kentucky, man. We're going to go.
They're going to go.
Yeah. We're going to go to
California.
Fucking close. We're going to go to New Orleans. That's where all the vampires are at.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's the headquarters, actually.
It's not. See, we misspoke earlier, Sarah. It's not Murray, Kentucky. That's the headquarters. It's actually New Orleans. That's the headquarters.
Well, I said they were born in Kentucky.
True. You're right. But
you have to go to Kentucky to become a vampire.
Yeah, it's like
headquarters is New Orleans.
Yeah, it's like a religious mecca for vampires. Is you have to travel to New Orleans to become a real vampire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I should have known. I should have known that. I've never been there.
We should go there because there's a lot of spooky shit. There would be so much fun shit to do, and all the haunting and voodoo and craziness that happens there. It'd be a good time. But when they started to talk about this idea of like New Orleans, it really starts to reinforce this like us versus them mentality. And when I say us versus them, it's like the clan versus the rest of the world. Like that's
crazy. That's a lot.
It's a lot. You know, I don't think you're going to take it on.
No.
So now as the leader, Rod shares his identity being vampires. And the common problem is Heather's parents are bad people. and we got to go save her. That's what we're going to do now, right? They're abusing her, and we got to get down to Florida and help her. And then when we help her, we're going to fucking go to New Orleans, and everything is going to be hunky dory because we're going to be in the vampire mecca. And man, we are good to go. Now, here's the thing: psychologically, if you're in a group and you have a leader, you have a shared belief, and you have a common enemy, that's when things start to move in a very, very bad direction.
Yeah.
You know?
Were they just going to live there? In
Sarah, you got to think, Sarah, these kids are 16, 17 years old. They don't have a fucking plan. They don't
just
have,
get there.
They're just fucking get there and figure it out. No big deal, you know? Now, Rod starts to convince the clan that they need to leave Kentucky, go to New Orleans. This is also when Rod starts to think Heather's parents are obstacles that need to be removed so Heather and him can be together and have this fantastical fucking Twilight love story that everybody knows and loves, right? Minus the sparkly skin part, because I feel like I've seen pictures of Rod when he was arrested and he was a pasty young man. So,
I mean, this was pre-Twilight, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Twilight's based on this story.
Maybe.
It's not actually.
I don't know, Sarah. I think that this is a match made in heaven, and it's a love story that we all can appreciate. That's what I think.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
It is, except instead of killing each other, we're going to kill other people.
Similar.
It's in the same vein, I guess would be the best way to say it.
Is he just like a... Continue.
So this leads them to the events in Eustis. Yeah, it's about as good as Murray, I can assume, just by the name. Before we get into that, though, it's important to note that this didn't happen just like overnight. Like, it was a period of time. There was no adult stepping in to say anything. They had a time to plan it out. They also had a leader that was gaining control and reality slowly and replacing the fantasy with their quote unquote reality. Like, this isn't like, I don't want to say that it was just a spur of the moment thing. Now, they did steal a car, and I cannot remember for the life of me whose car they took. I want to say it was his mom, but I could be wrong on that. But anyway.
His mom's makes sense. Did the 19-year-old not have a car?
I don't remember, and that's my bad. I thought I added this in my notes, but apparently I didn't. So we have a little nugget that you guys can go look on your own. I don't know. I don't have it. I apologize.
I mean, if they stole a car, I assume she didn't have one, I guess.
Yeah. So this leads to the night of November 25th, 1996 in Eustis, Florida. Quiet neighborhood. Most people are asleep. But inside one house, things were about to change. The clan had traveled from Kentucky to Florida to help Heather run away from home, from the hell that she was living in, from her just abusive parents that just sexually abused and mistreated her all the time, which was not the case. Heather packed up all her stuff in the car, and they went on their way. No big deal. She literally just ran away.
Yeah. Yep. That happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time. All of a sudden, she was apparently left something. And this is the craziest part about this. And every documentary and every podcast and everything, it's never said what she fucking needed to go back for.
Really?
But she was so adamant on, have to get this certain item. I have to. And she looks at Rod and's like, if you truly love me, you will let me go back and get this. I don't know if that's what she said. I'm just assuming that's what she said.
I mean, what would it be?
That's I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm also thinking it's a 16-year-old girl. So it could be something as stupid as a fucking, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's nothing important.
Could be her diary. Could be
her
favorite pillow. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, oh, anything. Fuck, I forgot my stuffed animal that I've had for 50 or 15 years, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Rod tells them to leave, and he and one of his friends is going to get the item for her. So they leave, all the girls. So we're talking Charity, Diana, Heather. Hey, you're going to stay here. We're going to go back and we're going to go get whatever she needs. And everything's going to be fine. We're going to sneak in, break in, get what you need, and get out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're thinking about this, and they're off by themselves. They're all thinking about this wonderful New Orleans trip that they're about to be on and everything. This is when Rod and his friend go outside, and leave for the Windriff home. So when he gets there with this other friend, they enter an unlocked garage. Rod searches for a weapon that, quote unquote, as he said, wouldn't make a mess. So
he intended
to kill her parents. Now, here's the fucked up part. Heather had no idea this was going to happen. She just thought she was going to run away, because in all honesty, like, her parents never did anything to her. She was just playing into the fantasy. The fucked up thing is there was like this tension in the car where they had left, and like other people in the clan had known that this was the plan.
Wow.
So they were saying things like, just like off-putting things, like not saying that like, oh, well, yeah, they're going to go kill your parents right now, but they're going to be like, well, you probably won't have to worry about them anymore, or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
My God.
Yeah. So he decided, of all things, the weapon he was going to use was a crowbar, because that's not messy.
Right. Yeah, that's super clean.
Yeah, yeah. Not it's not going to make a mess at all.
No.
So he entered the Woodruff home. He found Heather's father, Richard Woodruff, asleep on the couch. Before Richard could wake up, he hit him multiple times, fracturing his skull and his ribs, knocking him out, killing him. Shortly thereafter, the boys looked around the house for Heather's mother, Ruth. They found her in the kitchen. She was making coffee. Ruth turned and saw the two boys, and she was immediately terrified because they have a fucking crowbar and are probably spattered in fucking blood. Now, this is the funniest part. She was terrified and tried to get away by throwing the scalding coffee on Rod.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Solid idea. Unfortunately, it did work momentarily, but Rod did bludgeon her to death with the crowbar. That being said, in Rod's confession, he claimed the original plan was to allow Ruth to live, but she attacked him first, and that angered him and made him change his mind, so he also killed her. I think that's a bunch of fucking
yeah. Why go up to her if he had nothing to do with her? Like,
yeah. Now, and here's the real fucked up part. They returned to Richard, and they burned with a cigarette the shape of a V in his chest for Visago. Me too. I did at first. But, and the thing is, Rod said it was symbolic. He accompanied a dot for each person to be considered in his vampire clan in the V. So that's why supposedly he did it too. The police on the scene said that the amount of violence was so severe and overwhelming that the Woodruffs were unrecognizable, and there was no hesitation from whoever had done these killings. So he didn't just beat them to death, like he crushed their skulls. And like, from what I could tell from actual like reports on this, like when they say unrecognizable, like it's no shit. You couldn't tell who they were. So it wasn't just a 1-2 whack, you're dead. It was violent. And I feel like Rod, once he started, it was kind of like the culmination of the fantasy coming to life now that he's, a supposed 500-year-old warlord. Now he's actually doing what he did. Here's the funny thing, though. I don't believe he drank any of their blood. So you would think if he's a vampire,
right?
You would have done the vampire thing. But
yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh. How does he get,
we're almost
I hope
there,
she
Sarah.
turns them in. Okay. Sorry.
So Rod takes Richard's car and some cash from the house. They meet up with the girls. Red flag. That's my dad's car, and my dad ain't in it.
Right. And is he covered in blood too?
I would assume. Yeah. It's even if they washed off. Supposedly, I heard a report that they had stripped down and gotten clothes from somewhere, but nonetheless, you come back in different clothes.
Yeah. It's a little.
You got my dad's fucking car. You know what I mean? Like,
my God.
And they're already kind of talking about this in the car while they're gone. Like, yeah, they fucking killed your fucking parents. You know what I mean? They had everyone get in Richard's car and they switched the license plate, and now the group was on the move. As they travel, Rod tells them that they're going to New Orleans to meet someone called, and this is no shit, Sarah, quote unquote, Chicken Man.
Chicken Man.
Yeah, I'm telling you. According to Rod, Chicken Man is someone who's going to help them when they get to New Orleans. Rod also tells the group that there is a rival werewolf clan.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Where'd he come up with werewolves before Twilight?
Probably
Rival
from
werewolves.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Maybe, yeah.
And he also said that the clan must be prepared to fight when they reach New Orleans. So he's hyping them up. He's fucking...
Oh my God. So the rest of the group kind of knew he was going to kill her parents, and they're fine with being rivals with someone else?
I don't think they knew that for sure, but I think they were starting to put the pieces together of what was going to go down. And then when they came back with his car, everybody was like, holy fuck, he actually killed somebody.
Yeah, but are they okay with it? Obviously, besides her.
I don't think anybody was really okay with it. The gentleman that went with him to the house did not participate in the killing and allegedly just stood and watched and was stunned in disbelief of what was happening.
Right.
And I think this is where this starts to fracture the group a little bit because everybody else has been kind of playing this fantasy. It's gotten way out of hand, but it's still just a fantasy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and he brought it.
And now
he made it real.
Yeah, you've just fucking beat the hell out of 2 people and killed them. And you didn't drink your blood. If you drank the blood, I'd be all in, and I'd be like, fuck, man, this dude's really a 500-year-old fucking vampire. Shit. All right. Yeah. Key details were missing there. So even after the double murder, God does not break character. He doesn't break the narrative. Instead, he just keeps fucking expanding on it. They drove for 4 days, and through 4 states, wow. The clan is found in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The group needed money, obviously. They have no fucking plan of anything.
Right.
And Charity thought her grandmother could help, so she called her. However, Charity's grandmother informs the police about the teens' whereabouts and helps trick Rod and the rest of the teens to go to a local Howard Johnson's hotel where they were arrested by awaiting police.
Wow. So the police, because of the murder, they were looking for them already, or what?
Well, they stole his fucking car. They knew somebody had murdered them and the car was missing. They started kind of putting 2 and 2 together. Once again, this is a fucking 18-year-old kid. They're not smart. They're dumb. You know?
Well, it's good for this, so he can get caught. Yeah.
It is good for this.
They're not that smart, yeah.
So they were held at the Baton Rouge jail for a week before being extradited back to Florida, where they were initially booked at the Lake County Jail, and they were later moved to a juvenile facility. Now, on February 12th, 1998, Rod is now 18. He pled guilty to the murders, claiming others traveling him were innocent, except for the friend that went in with him, who simply was an accessory. Rod pled guilty to 2 counts of felony murder, and of course, guess what Rod's attorney tried to fucking argue?
Insanity.
Yep. He said that he had been diagnosed with several mental disorders, including schizotypal personality disorder and Asperger's syndrome. I think I said that first one right. The University of Florida attests that Rod would sometimes see spiritual things like angels and demons. Judge Jerry T. Lockett sentenced Rod to death. So the plea didn't go very far.
No. Well, if he pled guilty, though,
That's true. But you would think if he had an insanity plea, they would at least just give him life in prison instead of the death
be
penalty.
A little more lenient, I guess.
Yeah.
Not back then. Not in the 90s.
Nah, fuck no. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
The world's about to end in fucking 2 years. We ain't got time for that shit. But for 2 years, Rod held the record as the youngest inmate on death row.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah. This changed, though, in November of 2000 when Florida Supreme Court reduced his sentence to life in prison.
Because he appealed or something?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
Now, for the others, Charity Kinsey was convicted of 2 counts of third-degree murder, robbery with a gun or a deadly weapon, and burglary with a weapon. She was sentenced to 10.5 years in state prison, and Charity was released in March of 2006.
Wow. Okay. So she just lived.
Apparently, I mean, since 2006. Hope not fucking playing Vampire the Masquerade.
Triggers it again.
Yeah. But Dana Cooper was also convicted of all of those charges, but as well sentenced to 17.5 years in a state prisons. Dana was released in October of 2011. Howard Scott Anderson, he was the friend that was with Rod, was convicted of the same charges as Rod and sentenced to life in prison.
Wow. That kind of sucks for him. I mean,
it does kind of suck for him.
Yeah, he didn't know necessarily, and
well, it's that fine.
Do anything.
It's that fine line, Sarah, because it's like, yeah, sure, you didn't know what he was planning on doing, but then you also saw him beat the hell out of somebody that was asleep on the couch.
Right. But they didn't have cell phones, probably. I mean, what was he supposed to do?
But then you perceive. I mean, I don't know. I'd fucking get the fuck out of there if that was me. But
yeah, I would try to. Well, might think he's going to chase him and kill him.
I mean, he is a 500-year-old vampire. He'll probably just turn into a bat and fucking bite your face off.
Right. Super speed or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
Just rip your throat out.
Or beat you to death with a crowbar. More likely scenario.
Still scary.
Yeah, it's still scary. Still scary. I think I have a fighting chance against somebody with a crowbar versus a vampire, though. I think a vampire, I'm kind of fucked.
Right.
Now, in January of 2013, an appeal court dismissed Rod's and Howard's attempt to get a new sentence hearing. However, in December of 2018, Howard was represented by Circuit Judge Don Briggs, and his sentence was reduced to 40 years in prison. Howard was given credit for the 22 years he had already served, making the first time eligible for release in 2031. So he's almost there.
Wow. Yeah, coming up.
It's coming up.
You just spent your whole... I mean, what do you do after that if you get out? Like,
I mean, you got to think, man, like if you're 16, 17, 18 years old and you have a 40-year, like you're not going to know anything other than prison.
No, right.
You know, how are you going to go? How are you going to get and assimilate back into society? You know, it's like that sad scene from Shawshank Redemption, that old man that gets released. And he's like, he's never seen a car before. And now all of a sudden there's cars everywhere. And he just doesn't know how to do anything, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, he'll probably just go back to prison.
Well, I don't know, man, because I don't think he really did anything, though. You know what I mean?
No, but he might try to do something to get back.
That's true.
I mean, that happens a lot, too.
Yeah, that is true. Now, Ruth Windor's relatives attended Howard's resentencing hearing and did not oppose his early release. So, once again, I think they know that he was definitely an accessory, but not the perpetrator. They spoke with a publication called The Daily Commercial, saying they were most concerned about Rod, who was scheduled for his own resentencing hearing in July of 2019. Rod's hearing was scheduled for November 18th, and then again in April of 2020. The sentencing, the judge upheld life without the possibility of parole, and deemed him irreparably corrupt.
Wow. Does he still think he's a vampire?
Supposedly not.
Okay.
Now, it's kind of weird because, okay, you know weird people in prison, right? Rod is actually married to someone. They got married in 2023. He's been in prison the whole time.
How did he meet someone?
Good fucking question. And why in the fuck would some lady be like, you know what sounds really, really good? I'm going to marry a convicted murderer. He's still in prison, but man, I love him so much.
Well, and he's going to be there forever.
Yeah. You want to see a picture of Mr. Rod Farrell currently?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got you. Well, currently 2023. Prison photographer. Yeah. Photo.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think, Sarah. Tell me what you think of Mr. Rod Farrell.
Yeah, he looks kind of what I thought, probably. Like,
a little bit.
He kind of looks like, I don't know. Did he have?
Yeah, don't worry. Don't you worry, Sarah. I'm pulling one up for you right now. Give me just a second. This is the glories of me not being prepared.
He does look like a creep in the jail photo, I feel like.
Well, and you got to understand too that no, god damn it, I don't want to subscribe to anything. I just want to look at a fucking picture. Shit, come on, man. Okay, we'll just have to deal with the Google images. You can see it pretty good. I think a lot of this had to do too, like the media sensationalized the fuck out of this, right? And
I'm
I
sure,
think he
yeah.
loved the attention. There's Mr. Rod Farrell right
My
there.
God, okay. That's also kind of what I thought as a teenager.
Yeah, it tracks.
That's really long hair.
It tracks. Some greasy haired kid, 500-year-old vampire. But no, that's what really like set this thing off, dude. Like Murray, Kentucky, man, dude, they fucking satanic panic all over again. And like, it's like, it's already like in the Bible Belt down this way. You know what I mean? Right. So like, we're talking, dude, people loved this story, whether they were like, oh yeah, gothic kid like me, look what he did, or crazy fundamentalist Christians were like, see kids, this is why you don't listen to Van Halen.
Yeah. That's why you don't play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. 100%.
Right, exactly.
100%. I think that's the craziest part about it is like, not only like just the fantasy that was built in this fucking kid's mind and that he was able to coerce so many other teens into this. Go down and kill 2 people because he truly believed this shit. Because that's the thing. Like, I think I've heard things about now. It's like he's like trying to like, oh no, it's not. He's trying to defend himself still. You know what I mean? And he doesn't think that anymore. Okay, cool. I don't fucking care if you believe that or not. You convinced at least 4 to 5 other people that you were a 500-year-old vampire, beat the hell out of 2 innocent people that never did anything wrong to their daughter, and kidnapped her pretty much, took her to New Orleans, and got caught. You fucking deserve everything that you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, because, like, he wasn't going to do that till she asked to turn around. Like, why did he decide then to kill them, I guess? I don't know. It's so weird. Because it seems like that wasn't, if they left initially, he wasn't thinking of killing them.
Well, I think the fantasy plan was to do something. Like, they were gonna kill somebody eventually. Like, the clan was gonna kill somebody eventually. Like, it was getting to that point of where it was just escalating. Like I said, he was talking about after he killed her parents that there was a rival werewolf clan. He could have easily been like, hey, you see that guy over there sipping on a 7-Eleven Slurpee? That's the leader of the vampire or the fucking werewolf clan. We got to take him out.
Yeah.
Just to maintain the facade and the control over the group. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know, Sarah.
Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Fucking vampire, dude.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, vampire. Werewolves are kind of meh.
I don't want to be all hairy like that.
Yeah, and can you not control it? It's like once a month.
Well, that's the other thing too.
That
like
would be
if I could turn it on and off, maybe. But if it's only when it's a full moon, I'm good because I can be a vampire 24/7, and I'm okay with that.
Well, if we're doing Twilight, you can do it anytime you want, I guess.
I don't care about Twilight.
Well, that's the way the werewolves work.
Oh, okay. Thank you for enlightening me. That's the way that werewolves work.
Yeah, from Twilight.
In the Twilight universe.
Yeah. So you could turn it off and on.
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather be a vampire. I think it'd be way cooler. There's more of like they're a little more classy too than werewolves most of the time. You know what I mean? They're a little more.
Yeah.
There's a little bit, I don't know. I feel like they're more distinguished and respectful, except when they're ripping people's throats out. I don't know.
Well, yeah, right. And then they just dab it with a napkin. Like,
yeah.
Just my afternoon snack.
I personally prefer the 30 Days of Night vampire. Because that's how I feel vampires would really be. Like, they would be a no shit, like, predator. Like, acting like a pack of wolves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they would fuck you up and not have any remorse whatsoever, not talk to you about any of it. It's just you're a meal for them. That's how I feel like vampires would really be. I don't know. Yeah, Sarah, that's the Murray, Kentucky vampire clan.
Wow. I don't know how I've never heard of this. I guess because it was a 96 or 98 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember seeing that picture of him like sticking his tongue out. I definitely remember seeing that.
Right.
But I think it was one of those where I was probably like playing in our living room and it was on the news or something. You know what I mean?
I don't remember anything from that.
Oh,
I mean, I was 3 years younger or whatever, but yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's a wild story, Sarah. It's a wild story. And like I said, they got a lot of really good documentaries about this and goes into super detail about a lot of things. And I didn't get a chance to watch all the ones that I wanted to prior to this, but there's a lot of good stuff on this. Listeners, you want to check more out about the vampire clan of Kentucky, Murray, Kentucky. There is a lot out there to check out. And one of the things I was finding interesting was I found a few of like the articles of like Bible thumpers freaking the fuck out over it. And those are hilarious. Hilarious. Anyway. But yeah, Sarah, that's what I got for the Kentucky Vampire Clan.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, that's scary.
It's pretty crazy what a determined young teen and a fantasy can turn into, I guess. I don't know. Hey, kids, don't listen to Van Halen or play Dungeons and Dragons, because then you're going to turn into a trench coat wearing, greasy haired vampire, 500-year-old weird name. Don't do that stuff, okay? But
Basago, I did look that up. It's, I guess, a demon name.
Well, that tracks. I don't know.
I thought it was Japanese, but it's Basago, yeah. That's a demon.
Well, I mean, technically, vampires were considered demonic, right? Or unholy, or I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, they can't go to heaven. That's
true. That's true.
Yeah. They don't have a soul.
They don't have a reflection, which is pretty much the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
They have a reflection in Twilight?
Yeah.
Then they're not fucking vampires. I'm done with this. I don't want to even talk about it. I don't even know why I brought it up.
I don't think they have a soul, or they don't think they have a soul.
Well, whatever.
I don't know.
Skin of a killer, Bella. Anyway.
Yeah. Hold on, Spider Monkey.
Anyway, listeners, thank you for hanging out and listening to the last little ramblings of bullshit Twilight at the end of this episode. But if you want to check out anything from the Paranoid Perspective, you can search the Paranoid Perspective and you will find us everywhere. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. You got some awesome little perks over there.
Yeah.
But the easiest and free way, if you don't feel like being a part of the Patreon, share this podcast with a friend, like, comment, subscribe, all of the wonderful social media buzzwords. Write us a review on anywhere you're listening to this podcast. And if you want to help support the show another way, we have an Amazon affiliate. Sarah, what are we promoting today for our Amazon affiliate?
I think the ring light. Again, if you want to look like a vampire.
Yeah.
Like me.
See, there you go. Sarah has the skin of a killer right now, and you would only know that, and you would only see that if you had a wonderful ring light. So check out a ring light, and you can have the skin of a killer too. Just don't do any killing. We're not condoning anything like that.
No.
But
just be pale.
Just be pale. Yeah. But thank you guys for hanging out. We'll check you guys on the next podcast. And as always,
remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching. See you next time on The Paranoid Perspective.